Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, we talk a lot about effective communication. It seems obvious that when we speak, we're trying to deliver a message to an audience effectively. If we fail, then our message has less of a chance of successful delivery. For this assignment, I've learned about different communication styles, and I've identified my primary communication style, the style that comes naturally to me. It's my go-to communication style when delivering a speech to a group, any sort of audience, or an individual. I'll be honest with you, adapting my communication style isn't something that I've thought much about before. Usually what I focus on is clarity of communication. I like to be clear. I find flowery speech wasteful, and abstract communication kind of frustrates me. Get to the point is something I often hear myself saying when sitting through long poetry readings. And I'll tell you a secret, I'm one of those people who rarely finishes those long form articles in the New Yorker, or even, I hate to admit, the short stories in the magazine each week. So much to my surprise, upon completion of the Discover Your Communication Style questionnaire, I apparently have a supportive communication style. So what the heck is a supportive communication style, you might be asking? Well, we'll get to that. First, I'm going to walk you through the other communication styles that I learned about this week, and then we'll get to what's my communication styles. These other communication styles are apparently not my go-to communication style, and I really can stand to brush up on these if I want to be a more effective communicator. These styles are the initiating communication style, the direct communication style, and what is called the analytical communication style. According to the Toastmasters manual for this assignment, the initiating style is sociable, enthusiastic, energetic, spontaneous, fun-loving. On the flip side, the initiating communicator may be perceived as someone who talks more than they listen. This type of communicator is perceived as self-assured, innovative, and persuasive. When I was preparing this speech and I was reading about this style, the person who came to mind right off the bat was the political commentator and comedian Bill Maher, for having this initiating communication style. Apparently, initiating communicators like to feel accepted and are motivated by relationships. They're fast-paced and could appear impulsive at times, yet at the same time, they're perceived as self-assured and persuasive. The second communication style that I'm going to discuss with you today is the direct communication style, which is described as decisive, competitive, independent, and confident. Unlike the Bill Maher initiator communicator, the first person who came to mind when I was thinking about direct communicators was Hillary Clinton. To her detriment, she's often perceived as strong-willed or demanding. This type of communicator likes to feel in control and may become frustrated if they're dependent on others. Direct communicators measure progress by achievements and successes. They're motivated by challenges. And at work, you may find a direct communicator displaying more concern for results than relationships, and they're not known for easily sharing feelings. The last communication style I will describe before getting to my own personal style is what is called the analytical communication style. It took me a second to figure out, who do I think of when I think of an analytical communicator? And then it dawned on me, of course, my husband, Dan. He is systematic and task-oriented. He's not really organized in real life, but in his communication style, he's very organized and purposeful. Analytical communicators like my husband rarely give an opinion unless asked, and they're often private with personal information and do not easily express emotions. Each of these styles, as I said before, are all very unlike me, which brings me to my communication style. While I do not have the initiating communicator style of Bill Maher or the direct style of Hillary Clinton, and I definitely do not have the analytical style of my husband, Dan. I do have what Toastmasters calls a supportive communication style. This style is described as calm, steady, approachable, sincere, and gentle. I also apparently have good active listening skills, something that I highly value and I work really hard to employ. Others see supportive communicators as cooperative, dependable, and loyal. Now, to be sure, no one communication style is inherently better than another. What's important in Toastmasters is that we learn to adjust or perhaps to moderate our particular communication style for a particular audience. And this is not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about. While one audience may appreciate and need the hard data that my husband, the analytical communicator, likes to provide, or another might really need the results-driven direct communication that someone like Hillary Clinton might provide, or perhaps the audience needs that fun-loving yet persuasive communication style of a political comedian like Bill Maher. The point is that if we are going to be effective communicators, we also need to be flexible, and we need to be able to adapt our communication styles to the various audiences that we find ourselves speaking to.